Tanner, how did you end up at Arizona?
I ended up at Arizona. Honestly, the best way to describe it is luck, but it's been a blessing. I tore my ACL in the spring of 2021, the COVID year. I played 3 games that season and kind of was at a point in my career where I knew I needed change. The coaching staff ended up getting fired. And so I was kind of in between programs and decided to kind of bet on myself. And that's when I decided to walk on here around Christmas time. And it's the best decision I've made so far. So.
Did you know somebody who was on
Yeah,
the staff?
yeah. So I had connections. PJ Maglor, he's a trainer up in Arizona, and he knew Coach Pow Pow. And so that was kind of my connection there. And they kind of talked and exchanged words and kind of developed a relationship through that. And then Pow Pow obviously was interested and then ended up talking to the rest of the staff and kind of found my way here. So.
You had shared a story on Twitter about going to a U of A game, 12 years ago?
Yeah, it was 8 years ago. Yeah, 8 years ago, Arizona against Washington State in Pullman. And I was a sophomore in high school. And I just remember it was my high school team from Canada that went to watch this game. And I remember being on the sidelines, and I was a huge Arizona fan, seeing Arizona run out. And I knew that one day I wanted to play for Arizona. I didn't know how I was going to get there. I didn't know when it was going to happen, but I knew I wanted to be here. And it's funny how life works out because obviously it happened, and I'm pretty excited about it. So.
Was it 2014?
Yeah, 2014. Yep.
Like 59 to 37.
Yeah, I can't remember the score. I know they won because I was the only one wearing an Arizona shirt. So I know there were some people in the fans that weren't too happy about it. So.
Was there something about Arizona? Why were you the one? Why did you like them?
So growing up in Canada, we always vacationed down here. We always came down here to get out of the cold weather. So I kind of just picked up on the Wildcats and it kind of went from there.
So, Trey, you started here as a walk-on as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so do you kind of have a little bit of a perspective of what Tanner had to go through to kind of earn getting that scholarship?
100%. Yeah, I was so happy for him when they announced that because I just remember how I felt when I got my scholarship from being a walk-on, and because I watched Tanner. He got here in the summer. He was working his backside off, and I was like, yeah. I didn't even know he was a walk-on. I was like, that was like a revelation to me. I was like, what? But yeah, when he completely deserved it, he earned it, and I was so happy for him.
Trayden, how are you feeling physically?
I'm feeling a lot better. We've been getting there. I've been in the training room every day, just trying to get back to 100. I'm getting I'm pretty close now.
What would you say, 90?
Yeah, somewhere around there, 90 plus.
90 plus. What was the injury?
It was a bone bruise in my knee.
Did it just happen in practice?
Yeah, it happened during a fall camp.
Okay.
So you've earned a starting position. Things are going well, and then you had this setback. How did you just kind of handle the disappointment of that?
It was a little tough at first, but my teammates were always there for me, especially my guys in the corner room. Like, I trust them wholeheartedly, so I wasn't worried about how the position would be after. So I could just focus on getting healthy. I could put all my efforts into rehab and treatment and let the guys keep doing what they're doing.
Does it make it easier on you when you have a guy like Isaiah Rutherford that can fill in, that's been a starter before?
Absolutely. Like, the depth we have in the corner room has made it so much more comfortable for me to really take my time and make sure I'm 100% healthy.
Tanner, was your injury in a game?
It was, yeah. We were playing Idaho, and I ran a shallow route on a 3rd down, and instead of knifing and getting vertical, I decided to plant and go sideways and just tweaked it on that. And after the game, I woke up the next morning and couldn't really bend my knee too well, so found out about a week later that it was torn.
And you had surgery?
I had surgery about a month after that, yep.
When was that?
The surgery was in June 15th.
Okay. Coach Fish said that you used YouTube to help you with your rehab. Is that because you were in between schools?
Yeah.
Tell us about your
So at the beginning of my, after I got the surgery, I had some really good help from some people at Southern Utah. Craig Lunt and Nate Lauer helped me a ton with it. But then when I was in between schools, a lot of it was YouTube. A lot of it was kind of talking to other people that had gone through the same process and just kind of figuring it out on my own. And then when I got to Arizona, I mean, they ramped it up and they got me right on track when I got here. And that was another reason why I kind of wanted to transfer, was because of the facilities, because of the trainers, because of the care I knew I would get here. And so it worked out. It worked out for sure.
And what were the accounts you were watching?
I would just do random ones, I would go look through like where I should be at week by week, month by month, and kind of just play it by ear and do what I was supposed to. So.
How did you get into football in the first place?
I've been playing football since grade 3, so I've been playing football a long time. I was a basketball player mostly growing up. I was super skinny, but I knew that I could probably go farther with football, and that's why I kind of decided to stick with it.
Were you always a tight end?
I was a quarterback, running back, receiver. In high school, I was mainly a receiver, but then when I made the jump to college, they said I should probably be a tight end. So.
Has there been any point since, like in any of the games, where you were worried that, okay, if I make the wrong move, it's going to go again, or you had where you can just go full go?
No, it's been a blessing because I really haven't thought about my knee. It's healed 100%, 110%. So I really don't think about it anymore. I'm excited to get the knee brace off, but I'm not allowed to do that yet. So I haven't thought about it, and when I'm playing, I don't think about much. Just
so like
playing.
when you hurdled the defender on Saturday night, there was no, what if I land wrong?
No, I wasn't thinking. Like when I'm playing, it's all a blur to me, so I just tried to jump. I obviously didn't make the jump, but I tried my best to get over them. So.
What do you make of the Canadian presence on the football team?
I love it. At Southern Utah as well, I had 2 other Canadians, so to have 2 Canadians here, I think it's great. We bring a different type of culture to the team, and I'm grateful for it.
Trayden, how hard was the prep the last 2 weeks? I mean, you had two totally different styles of offense.
Yeah, it was a little night and day. I mean, we trust our coaches. They put in a lot of work, a lot of hours setting up a game plan for us. We just, as the players, just have to put in the time as well. We watch the cut-ups they make. We study the checks we're gonna do for this week, and it's just work.
How important was it for the program to end that losing streak last year against Cal, just so that no one would talk about it?
I think it was real important. I mean, it had been a rough patch, obviously, at the university for the last 2.5 years, and just to turn it around like that, break that streak, it was just it felt good for the team. It felt good for the coaches and everyone involved.
You had the last pass breakup, if I recall, right? I think the 4th down play. Right? Is that what you?
It's generous to call it a pass breakup, yeah.
Well, if you caught it or didn't, it didn't matter, right? In the game. But what do you remember the most about that play and just kind of the aftermath?
I remember I thought, oh my gosh, and then I was like, oh my gosh, we won. Like first it was like, oh crap, I dropped it, but then I was like, oh, I realized that the game is over now. Yeah, it was just, I was overcome with joy. I was just so happy for everyone on the team to finally get over that hump that we was facing.
Trayden, can you talk about the mood and the atmosphere on the sideline in that 4th quarter when you guys needed that stop? What was said amongst yourselves?
We were just, we were locked in. We try and prepare ourselves for moments like this all the time. I mean, it's hard to replicate when it's the actual game, but, everyone knew what was going on. We knew what had to happen, and everyone was just laser focused on doing their job, staying disciplined.
What have you seen of Cal so far on tape, and are you going to ask Will anything about his brother?
I think Cal's a good football team. They're pretty balanced, run pass, so it'll be a nice game plan for us. I don't know Will's brother, so I'll get the scouting report from Will, the personal scouting report, and make sure we got everything we need.
So Tanner, you come into this tight end room, and there's an established starter pretty much, right, in Alex Lyons, and they've got big time recruit coming in. So how did you approach that competition, trying to move up the track?
It's been great coming in as a walk-on. I was obviously on scholarship at Southern Utah. Coming in as a walk-on kind of led me to have a chip on my shoulder, and that's been a blessing because I've approached every day with that mindset and trying to get better, trying to be the best in the room, trying to be the best version of myself. But with Kean and Alex, I mean, they're great. I love having them in the room. I love them pushing me every day. They're both great football players, so all of us can contribute regardless of what we're asked.
Can you talk about Jaden's performance and the bounce back week that he had and playing under control?
Yeah, Jaden's a dog. Jaden, whatever he's asked to do, he'll do. I'm very grateful that he's my quarterback. I wouldn't change it for anyone. I'm so grateful that it worked out for him to be here when I transferred here. I didn't know he was coming here when I transferred. And so for that to work out, I mean, I wouldn't ask for anyone else. And I think every week he's going to continue to get better, and he's going to continue to develop in this offense, and we're all excited to see it happen. So, thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.